Well, they say all beautiful songs have an ending, and that is where we are basically ended up today. And today we are at the end of the 30-day live stream on entrepreneurship. My name is Jürgen Moos. I'm a coach, a strategic advisor, and a consultant. And you've spent with me the last 30 days on, yeah, let's say a basic walkthrough of entrepreneurship that we have been building up from week one and day one up to today. Now, today will be a shorter day. We will do a small recap, and that's what we will kick off with in entrepreneurship. I think for those who joined the 30-day live stream, you will see that in the first week, we focus a little bit on, okay, what is entrepreneurship actually meaning? How do we position it in comparison to, for instance, entrepreneurship? What are typically tasks for entrepreneurs, where you as an entrepreneur should focus upon? There, we already also made clear that entrepreneurship is not something that you learn from one day to the next or something that you will get born with. No, it is a journey and something that you can learn and something that you can take with you, a big part to, let's say, the whole of your career. That there are a lot of big benefits to find behind entrepreneurship, because you become a lot more positive as a person. You will have a lot more optimistic look at life and at your job. You will see that your career, even with the risks that you take as an entrepreneur, will actually advance a lot faster. You will find a way to bring to the work floor the innovativity and creativity that you have, and maybe most of all, important to a lot of people, you will have impact. The beginning of your journey, it will be maybe a small kind of impact, but as you grow your journey, the impact will get bigger and bigger and bigger. During the second week, we then started really looking and focusing in on the skill set of an entrepreneur. What does an entrepreneur actually do? What you need to be able to do? And there, to recap some of those skills, innovative thinking is really important in that area, of course. How can you become an innovative thinker? The aspect of building your network is enormously important. The aspect of having a growth mindset is enormously important, because the network you need not only internally to be able to look across the organization, across the silos, but also external. You will need this to have your ideas, to bring your ideas in, to bring help in, to bring resources in. This is really important when you build your networking. So networking skills is really something that you have to develop over the course of time when you are on this journey in entrepreneurship. And every of those skills, again, all of those skill set that we went through is something that you can learn, and that's something that you should learn throughout your journey as an entrepreneur. Then during week three, we focused a lot more on, yeah, let's make it now practical. This entrepreneurship, I gave you a lot more examples from my own time as a successful entrepreneur, which lasted for more than 20 years at a chemical company from Germany in the harbor of Antwerp. And I told you about a lot of different projects around robotics, around digitization. We focused on how to work with your network, what you can actually do with your network, how to build a business case, a successful business case, how you should interact with sponsors, search for sponsors, and feedback, how to work with resistance in an organization. So all of these elements we crossed off, so to speak, in week number three. And the last week, we spend a lot more time looking even further into the future as an entrepreneur, but also we looked at a little more advanced topics, meaning if you want to have really impact, for instance, it is not just you as your entrepreneur alone on your journey. At a certain point in time, you will have reached a certain maturity where you can say, now can I start building my team of entrepreneurs? So we also started looking at, how do you build a team of entrepreneurs? What do you need to look for? What are the hurdles when you build? What do you need to look out for when you build your team of entrepreneurs? How do you manage your team? How do you lead your team as entrepreneurs? So those aspects we looked at. We looked at, for instance, okay, what is the future of the entrepreneur? There we made a crossover towards the digital entrepreneur. We looked at resistance at different levels, because when you have your team, you don't only find resistance in your own projects, but your team members, your entrepreneurial team members, will experience more and more resistance. So the amount of resistance that ends up with you, that you are aware of, grows and how do you tackle these things. There's also something that we looked at. So all of these elements brought us to where we are today. All of those episodes are still online, so you can at each point in time start your journey in this 30-day live stream on entrepreneurship. I would urge you to do as well when you only discovered it, maybe later in time. When you want to look at a certain topic, you can always go back, and there's always a reference to them as well. Now, is this the end? Like I said, it is a journey, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the end. This is a skill set that you have to develop and have to continue developing. And for that reason, I'm also, I said from the beginning on, uh, I'm a coach. If you need very specific help in something, you can always reach out to me. And then we will look and see how I can help you, how I can coach you, how I can mentor you, maybe for a year, maybe for a period of time, maybe on a very specific topic that you're struggling with. So this is something that you can do. I've also built an online course around entrepreneurship where I focus on very specific aspects, where I focus on very specific aspects, but some of those aspects we handle as well. I go into a little bit more detail on the topics in the course itself. So I spend a little bit more time on a very specific topic in general. I position it also a little bit easier for you to understand in comparison to where we are and how I did it here in this live stream. But most of all, and I think this is the biggest asset of the entrepreneurial online course that I've built, is there's a lot more material in there for yourself during your journey. For each of the topics, like for instance, tackling resistance, building your skill set and your growth mindset, I've also added a lot of additional materials in there. Whether it's books, a list of books that you can turn to most of the time. There are for each chapter and each online module, there are about 5 books in there that give you even more knowledge. A lot of times I read the books myself, so I can highly recommend them to take them as well. I put in additional surveys, ways to approach, frameworks that you can actually use to develop a certain skill or to deploy. Especially if you look at digital transformation as well, I put on there how do you now. For me, was because it was my masterpiece. I gave you a copy of how did I build my framework and my masterpiece in digital transformation. It's in there as well. How do you become an intrapreneur and how do you position it towards the entrepreneur? The skill set there, how you can do an assessment for your skill set. That is all in there as well. So I highly recommend you to, if you want to learn more, if you are on your journey, doesn't matter where you are in your journey, to definitely take a look at the online course and use the additional materials to take steps forward. And like I said, if you then still need help, I'm also coaching people in this area to become successful, because as time progresses, everything will change. We will meet new challenges. Everybody also has his own background. Everybody's working in a different kind of organization. So sometimes you need somebody that you can reach out to. So I'm there to reach out. And how will the future look like beside this online course? As time progresses, I will definitely add more and more modules to this online course as well. And when big changes are coming, then I will also reposition that as well. At the moment, I'm also looking and working on a book on entrepreneurship to bring a lot of the stuff that I discussed here already together, but to also frame the aspect of entrepreneurship in a broader sense of manufacturing and larger organizations, and to again look at some of the topics. So in the coming months, because I'm still in the writing process, look forward to that as well. So I think somewhere in 2025, the book will actually appear and will be available for you. So I think with this course, with this 30-day live stream, you had a very nice kickoff and a pretty good deep dive if you started from week 1 and you followed up till today about what entrepreneurship is, what it can mean. Gave you a lot of examples in my life. Do you want to have more? Are you on your journey? Then definitely go to my online course, where you can find even more supplemental materials in there as well. If you don't, you want to find it, go to my website, class on there. It's around enabling leadership, but the aspect of enabling leadership is basically the introduction to the online course and to to the aspect of intrapreneurship. And if you after that still need more assistance, like I said, reach out to me for one of my coaching programs on entrepreneurship. Now, it has been for me a really beautiful time to spend time with all of you, to talk about entrepreneurship, to teach you the things that I also discovered. There are many more examples of my own career inside the online course if you want. So I thank everybody of you to be there with me every single day for the last 30 days in this live stream on entrepreneurship. And I hope to meet you one day as an entrepreneur somewhere at a location or at a conference where you are introducing and explaining your innovations, your big changes, your impact on the organization and on society. I wish all of you the best of luck in your journey as an entrepreneur. And don't forget one thing, it is all of a little bit about you. And it doesn't matter whether you're 20 years old, whether you're 40 years old, whether you're 50 years old. It's always the right moment to start today in your journey towards entrepreneurship. And it doesn't matter if you said, okay, I'm now in my 40s and I didn't have the impact that I want. Don't stay restless and accept your fate. You can change it at any point in time. It will take you a while because it is a journey, but you will see when you start it, it is a great journey to be part of. And but you can look at me. I started early in my entrepreneurship journey, but it took me more than 20 years to perfect this skill set. And in the end, in the middle of my career, and next year I will become 50. And this year I started to become an entrepreneur. Some people also say, "From are you crazy? Your retirement is not that far away. It's still about 20 years away, I would say." So it is never too late to make a jump if you're passionate enough for it, if you have a lot of fun, if you enjoy it. And of course, also in my entrepreneurial days and also in my intrapreneurial days, there are days that you say, "From what the hell have I started?" But you will enjoy it, and you will see that joy, happiness, impact, innovativeness, and your career that advances, they are all the fruits and the very sweet fruits of this journey. So, thank you very much for joining me, and I really hope you love this 30-day live stream. If you like it, then definitely put the thumbs up here on this YouTube channel. Check out my website for the online course. If you need help, like I said, you can reach out to me for coaching. But I really hope that you enjoy your personal entrepreneurial journey. Bye bye, and good luck with your entrepreneurial days.